Good evening and welcome to Bavard Notes. Tonight I have with me Angela Honda. She is a board member with the South Bavard Sharing Center. Angela, thank you for coming in tonight.
Thank you very much, Joe, for having me.
Now I understand you have a very special event coming up in August. I believe it's called the Sharing Angel event, where you are honoring the people who throughout the year have helped the Sharing Center. Could you tell me a little more about it?
Yes. It's going to be a very lovely event that we're holding this year at the Eau Gallie Yacht Club on Saturday, August 21st from 6 to 9 p.m. What we'd like to do is recognize people that, as you said, that have contributed greatly. One sponsor is Publix Supermarkets, who annually gives lots and lots of support to the South Brevard Sharing Center. And we're also hoping to recognize some families that we will be unveiling at the event. And at the same time, this is also a fundraising opportunity for the Brevard Sharing Center.
Mm-hmm. Now, I've been to these in the past, and usually you have a fantastic dinner set up. How's it looking this year?
You know, I think the venue this year is fantastic with the Eau Gallie Yacht Club overlooking the water. We're having heavy hors d'oeuvre stations. Beer and wine will be included, and then there will be a cash bar. So we want to have an elegant event. We want to invite the community to come out and really recognize and thank these people that step forward.
Now, what is the best way to get a ticket?
Okay. They can call the South Brevard Sharing Center. We're looking for corporate sponsors. The tables are very, very cheaply priced at $500. That's for 10 people. Or you can buy individual tickets for $50 a piece. So we're really hoping to get the corporate support out there as well.
And again, of course, calling the telephone number that we're putting up on the screen is the primary way of setting up the tickets in advance.
Yes. And again, it's charitable and it's tax deductible, so a good way to use your dollars.
Well, now we're getting into August, which is the dreaded time of year for nearly all charitable organizations, especially those supporting people in need. Just things get kind of lean. A lot of people go back up north, and I'm kind of wondering how things are going with the Sharing Center, the South Brevard Sharing Center. What are some of the needs they have right now?
Right. Like you said, this is a difficult time because between August and November, the donations do drop off. What we're trying to do are a couple initiatives. We've got Back to School initiative, where we want to be sure we have supplies for the kids that really can't afford it. We've got to stock our shelves. The pantry's low. We've given out double the amount of services that we have in the past. Mm-hmm. This past month, it was $80,000 worth of services that were needed. So we've been reading the statistics. 1 in 4 children are what is it called? Insecure.
Right. Well, under the circumstances, I don't know the catchphrase they're using right now, but I imagine quite a few kids are feeling kind of insecure during this recession.
Exactly. And I mean, they're hungry, so it's something that we've got to be able to stock those shelves.
Yeah, it's a difficult time. In terms of the types of things people should donate, sometimes they can donate the most ridiculous things with the best of intentions. Just as a guideline, I mean, we're talking non-perishable foods, right?
Right. We're looking for clothing, furniture, toys, non-perishable food, anything that can help support a family that's in need. And as you know, like we said, the needs have never been greater.
As summer comes to an end, we'll be going into fall, and you do a lot of very special things for the kids that are at the local shelters. You have these outings.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about them?
Sure. I can describe one. Off the top of my head, we try to get these kids that don't have opportunities to do some things like, for example, we do take them out and we let them go fishing. We teach them how to fish, let them have a fishing day out. And, this is an experience they wouldn't normally get. Also, the city of Melbourne Beach, the fire department, they host a Halloween evening for these children, and we have to transport them there, and they get special attention. And these are just things that we take for granted that these children don't get to experience.
Yeah, because it can be rough when you're in, what's the proper phase? Transitional housing, I guess they call it these days.
Yeah.
Because growing up, having a home is probably a stable anchor, a very important thing for a kid.
Definitely.
So they really do need a little treat now and then.
Yes.
Now, what is your story? How did you get involved with the Sharing Center?
Well, actually, I have a personal situation where a family in need came to us through my son's friend, and I realized that, I've been giving to United Way, and there's so many good organizations in our community, but I realized that for some people that are, until you're really on the street, there aren't some programs to help them. And this family was about to become homeless. And so I outreached to a lot of people, and I was directed to the Sharing Center. And with their support, we were able to get this family off the streets in some temporary shelter. We were able to get the mom assistance with rent, utility bills. We were able to get her a job. And we are able to now, after it's been 6 months that we've been trying to work with the Sharing Center's primary support, and she's going to be moving into the community of hope. And she and her 3 children actually have a chance of breaking the poverty cycle and really making a difference.
So you took the big step, because I think most people at a certain level like this one degree of separation where they will give to an organization like, well, the United Way or their favorite, but you took the next step. You actually got directly involved, and I think that's really a very wonderful thing that you did.
Thank you.
It's a tricky business. It takes a type of certain types of courage, if you will.
Yeah.
If I'm not laying on too thick here,
Nope.
Because plus there's a satisfaction.
It was really more my faith. I felt I couldn't walk away from that, and it has taught myself and my family a tremendous, tremendous lessons, and I think those are things that we are enriched from the experience.
We've been very effective in getting the information we originally agreed on out there, and we still have about 5 minutes left. Might give us a little bit of room to expand. There is an event coming up. I'll just go ahead and mention it here. It's called the Midsummer Night's Dream, Play, and Benefit. That's going to be on July 30th at 7 p.m. And it's $17.50 per ticket, and is hosted by the Community Family Players. I got faith on the mind. At Riviera United Church of Christ at 451 Riviera Drive in Palm Bay. For tickets, it's also calling the Sharing Center at 727-8581, extension 208. And that one's coming up right away, and I would encourage people to get themselves involved in both that and the Sharing Angel events that you have. Yeah. Making sure I got that out there. Let's move on.
Yeah. I can add a few things. There's been some changes at the Sharing Center, and under the executive leadership of Mike Hubler, who's relatively new, they have taken on a new way of managing and providing services. So I think that we're looking for more grants, we're being more proactive, it's being managed in a better way, and we're really hoping to get people back to look at the organization and contribute and see the good work that's being done. And so like I did mention, there's the homeless prevention grant that Mike was instrumental in getting. There's assistance for people that are unemployed to help with utilities for a certain period of time. The food bank, the clothing bank, the interviewing skills. I mean, it's just such a wealth of work that they're doing. So I think that it's not the same old Sharing Center. And
right.
For people that might have been involved a few years back, please come back out and take a look at what the organization's doing.
It's more than just having a new paint job.
It's more than
although the paint job is beautiful.
Yeah.
They did a really good job on that. But this is like a whole new renaissance, if you will, at the Sharing Center.
Exactly. And recruiting new board members, such as myself, and we're all trying to come in with fresh ideas and look at things and see. And when you just see what the needs are, it's just, the story sells itself. So.
And although I believe you did cover the fact that the demand has risen, generally speaking, compared to last year, how are we doing? Is there more demand out there for the services?
Double. We've given out double that we have, and we don't have enough. We're having, at the end of the month, or when the grant's running out, until we get more money funded in, we run out. So it's very difficult.
And this is the time Space Coast needs to pull together.
Yes.
And help our own.
Definitely.
Well, Angela, thank you for coming in tonight.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Well, folks, please contact the South Brevard Sharing Center and help where you can. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hit it. It takes two to make a thing go right. It takes two to make it outside. It takes two to make a thing go right. It takes two to make it outside. Hit it.
Support the Red Cross and change a life, starting with your own.
Good evening and welcome back to the second part of Brevard Notes. Tonight I have with me Latoya Reynolds, who is the founder of YB Mike. Latoya, thanks for coming in tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Now, what is, or who is, I should say, YB Mike?
Well, YB Mike is a nonprofit organization, and our motto is YB Mike when you can be yourself. The name YB Mike is actually an acronym for young black members in the community. However, we are an organization made up of all people from all backgrounds and races from the community. And who we are is simply concerned citizens with the amount of youth that we're losing to drugs and gun violence and prisons and incarceration systems. And more so, we're also concerned with the price that we as the taxpayers have to pay. So again, we're community members pulling together, hoping to help reduce recidivism and increase the amount of results from
Right.
the amount of success stories, actually from the results from rehabilitation. That's
Yeah.
what we're hoping to do.
Well, there's been a lot of that in the news lately about the fact that that our country, for reasons I don't completely understand myself, have more people in prison than any other country in the world.
Yes, yes.
And that's usually an indication something's broken.
Something's broken and we need to fix it.
Definitely. Now, I was going to ask you what the mission of the group was, but in a sense you covered a little bit of that. Maybe you want to elaborate more.
I do, because our mission, what we live by, is just three simple words: motivate, educate, and rehabilitate our youth and young adults in the community. We are hoping to provide them with the knowledge, the tools, and the preparation that they need so that they can be economically self-sufficient as well as productive in their communities.
And what are some of the services that YB Mike is providing?
We're doing a lot right now. Currently, we have our volunteer mentor program underway. And with this program, we are hoping to rekindle the youth's commitment to learning and being successful in the community. We also have what we call our Learn 2 seminars, and these are online series of custom design information, tools, tips, and guidance that are just about your everyday living and everyday life situations. That is open to the public to join, is free to members, and just a small fee to non-members. And we also have our athletics club. That's one of the more exciting things we have going on. We're in our tennis and golf season right now. So we're hoping this is something that reinforces positive